Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So if you want to order any of my services, tarot lessons, tarot sessions, mental altars, t-shirts, hair or body oils, my cards, whatever service you want to order with me, check the description box below for my email. Now, I want to jump into this reading because this message is going to be slightly different. We're going to do some past life traveling. So if y'all want to time travel with me, stick around. We're going to tap in. What I want to focus on today, well, before I get started, let's use the Declare and Decree deck to see if there's anything that you need to clear out. Let's start there. And then I want to tell you what's going to be the energy surrounding this message and why I'm doing it today. So whatever comes out of the Declare and Decree deck, if you like this deck, order it. I do have more in stock. I recently just got some in stock. So let's see. Whatever comes out, you're going to write it on paper and burn it. Give thanks to the Most High and your spiritual team for helping you to clear the blockage. So let's see. I just want to take one of these today. Well, they're giving me two, so I'll take two. So it says, all blockages to my Akashic records and the activation of my DNA are destroyed in spirit and in flesh. So go ahead and screenshot that one. Blockages of your Akashic records and the activation of your DNA. So clearing out those blockages. All contracts of bondage and slavery over myself and my lineage are now cleared in spirit and in flesh. All contracts of bondage and slavery over myself and my lineage. You want to clear that out as well. So these are pretty deep messages already just to start off. There is an agenda to block out your DNA activation and to prevent you from accessing your Akashic records, which is all of that wisdom that's accumulated over lifetimes that's also been passed down through your DNA from your ancestors, which is interesting because this message that we're going to do today is dealing with your past life energy, as well as the contracts of bondage and slavery over yourself and your lineage, which does tell me that for some of you in a past life, you were in bondage in some way, shape, or form, okay? So let's jump into it. What I want to look into today deals with what the powers that were, what did they know about you at birth? Because as I've spoken about this in the past, when they collect all of your information on the day that you were born, they're looking at the time of your birth, your name, where you was born, the date that you were born. All of this information is collected so that they can access your natal chart. They're able to see the placements of the stars and the planetary alignments when you come into this earth. And so that gives them a strong basis on who you have the potential to become. Okay? Very strong blueprint on who you are and who you have the potential to become. And so from there, they start working their little magic to direct you in a particular way or to block you from becoming, especially if you are a Messiah that would eventually come through your lineage. So let's tap in and see, what did they know about you when you was born? So this says clairvoyance. You possess clear vision, perceiving with the mind's eye. So you're able to understand things from the past, present, and future is pretty much what it's saying. You're able to know things, past, present, and future. So you may not know how you know these things. You could understand something from way back in ancient times, and it's like you just have an intuitive nudge to do it, and it's like, You look up, you go and do research later, and you find out that they was doing this thousands of years ago, and it's like, what? I don't know how I knew that, I just knew it. Or you may know things that's currently happening and how it's going to unfold, or things that's going to happen in the future. The powers that were understood that you had that gift of knowing things, okay? Past, present, and future. Let's see what else did they know about you. Fire. With a strong connection to fire, you can cause great healing or great destruction. Fire magic suits you best. You are the spark of it all. So this is really interesting, especially for myself, okay? Because I'm a fire sign. But with the fire, it's talking about utilizing the element of fire, pretty much working with the sun, the wind, and the earth. You need the accumulation of all three of those things in order to create fire. But fire magic is talking about specifically that you can use this to destroy things or to create things. And so For those of you who are drawn to doing declarations, with the declare and decree, burning and releasing in whatever way you see fit, and also working with your candles to create and to manifest the powers that were, your ops understood that you had this gift. So automatically I'm hearing that because they understood that you could use alchemy with the energy of fire, and like that was a strong, you had a strong ability to work with that element, they would push you, try to find ways to entrap you in religion or particular belief system so that you would think that this was wicked. So they understood that you have the ability to use alchemy to create and to destroy. Let's see what else. What did they know about you? Mystical. Something very mystical about you, which gives people the impression that you are very much in your power, and you are. So something very mystical about you, which gives people the impression that you are very much in your power, and you are. They understood that there's just something very mystical. This is like otherworldly. You're not from here. They not like us, okay? They understood that you're very different. But it also gives them not only the impression that you're in your power, but they know that you are very powerful. They are very much so aware of the power that you possess here. So also when you were born, let's take a couple of more before we jump into the past life energy. Okay. So, okay, I'll take these. I'll take these. Bottom of the deck, we'll take 4. So it says divergent. You stand out from the rest. The way you think, the way you dress is rare and unique, making you very desirable. You're a rebel with every... Oh, my God. Y'all, I think I see a dog. What is that? Is that a doggone owl? Hold on. Y'all got to excuse me, but I strongly believe that's an owl that just went up into this tree that's in my backyard. Okay? I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's like, some of y'all might be able to hear that. That's a different type of sound right there. I've never heard a bird sound like that. I wonder if it's a baby owl. I don't know, but I'm going to be doing some research on that one, y'all, because that just really captured me. I had to check that out. So with that coming in, that's strong, clarification. You are very powerful. You are very different. You are the rebel. So they recognize that you would not be the type of person that could be held down easily. You would be the one that will question authority. You would be the one that will question particular belief systems that are being handed to you. Wow. So what else came out? Sorry, y'all. Unseen. It says you have an invisible force to you, an intangible quality impossible to describe, very alluring in a non-obvious way, keeping them puzzled and curious to know more. So there's energy about you that's unseen. Like, it's just certain things about who you are. They can't quite make it out. So you would be that one person that they would want to experiment on. Okay, like when they had to get that blood from you, and they talking about they doing a CBC, they just checking to make sure that your blood count and everything is good. Yeah, okay. They was definitely tapping in on your DNA because there's something about you that's unseen. There's an invisible force to you. That invisible and an intangible force that they can't quite put their hands on is that divine connection, that spark to the Most High Mother and Father, and they will never possess that. So they understood that you have that as well. Now you also have here intuition. You have a very strong intuition with an innate sense of events, thoughts, or feelings of others. Your intuition often manifests in a gut feeling that serves as an internal guide. So in other words, your high priest and high priestess out there, okay? You are able to tap into things. Your intuition is very, very, very powerful. So they understood that it's not a whole lot that they could get past you. So what they would have to do is create narratives in your life that would suppress those natural gifts that you have so that you wouldn't be able to detect who your ops were or who the pawns would be that they would eventually place around you to prevent you from stepping into your divine calling. Last one that comes from this deck says an old soul. You have been around many lifetimes and have chosen to be reborn, to evolve and carry on your learning journey from where you left in your previous life. This is the perfect card to stop with before we tap into the past life energy, because you are an old soul. You always have been. So if you found that as a child, you just didn't quite mesh with children, your peers, if you find that you was just always the odd one out, or that you gravitated to older people since a young age, or that people called you grandma or grandpa, or told you you act like an old lady or old man, or whatever the case may be, you just always gravitated to things that most children your age would not do or be interested in. That's because you've been here many lifetimes. But this also said that you came back into this lifetime to finish up where you left off. So let's tap in and see, where did you leave off in your past life? Because the powers that were have been very curious about that. And this is why they have been surrounding you to see if you would be able to finish off your mission. The whole objective is to prevent you from doing that. So let's, you know what? No, hold on. We're going to start with the past life energy. Past life energy. So where did you leave off in the past life? Because you came back here to finish off that mission. Where did you leave off in your most recent past life? Unique and often misunderstood. So in your most recent past life, you was very unique and misunderstood then too. People did not understand you because you're just different. Again, you're otherworldly. Let's see, where did you leave off in your most recent past life? Strongly connected to water. You had a strong connection to water. Y'all got to excuse my handwriting because it's a hot mess. Strongly connected to water. Unique and misunderstood and strongly connected to water. So you might have stayed around bodies of water. You may have done a lot of your rituals around water. You may have lived around water, but it was something about water that just really pulled you in. Let's see. So illness is here. It could be that maybe you fell ill, or let me clarify that to see if maybe you were a healer in the past life. Let me see. What is illness? In your most recent past life, what is illness for you? So this says locked up for life. So you could have gotten ill after being locked up for life here, and that's why you was not able to complete your mission. Now, who would have locked you up is really the question. And you know that it's likely the powers that were, because they recognized that there was something in a past life that you were supposed to finish off in this lifetime. And so let me clarify locked up for life. Remember that card that says all contracts of bondage and slavery. We're talking about the declaration here. All contracts of bondage and slavery over myself and my aunts and my lineage is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Being locked up by these beings is bondage. Okay? It's enslavement. So let's clarify locked up for life. So it's hard for you to complete your mission from behind bars. Okay? Locked up for life. They really did not want you to be out there fulfilling your purpose. So they had to lock you down. That's how afraid these beings are of your purpose and of your power. So this says, look at that. I told you, it says authority figures. This was the governmental structure in the past life. They decided to make a ruling over your life to lock you up for the rest of your life because of your gifts, because of your calling here. Okay? And this could have caused illness. Let me see what else I can get about locked up for life. This says Native American. In your past life, you were strongly connected as a Native American, okay? So they locked you up for life because you likely had a lot of the natural gifts of the Native Americans, okay? You was very tapped into the traditional way of your ancestors, and you did not want to buckle. You did not want to give in to their desire to try to indoctrinate you and to force feed you these false gods, these false illusions, these false belief systems. You wasn't buckling. And so they decided that because you were the rebel, they was going to lock you up for life because they understood that you had a natural gift for healing people. You could even heal yourself given the right herbs and the right environment. But being locked up for life, it hindered your purpose in the past life. You had a strong connection to water. I feel like you had such a strong connection to water. You could speak to the water. You could read energy in the water. You could cleanse yourself in the water. You could activate DNA in the water. Like, it was a lot of things that you were strongly capable of in your past life. And these so-called authority figures, the structure during this time when we understood our heritage as Native Americans here. This may not resonate for everybody, but for those of you that know, you know, they knew how powerful you were. You know, one of my favorite movies, I think it was my favorite movie. I knew all of the songs. Pocahontas, the original, the very first one. Okay, I'm talking about. I was very drawn to that movie. Very, very drawn to that movie. And when I went back to watch it in my adulthood now, the first one, I was like, wow. Like, it was so many obvious things that was placed in there that, of course, you don't catch when you're a child. But always very drawn to Pocahontas specifically. So you were locked up for life by these so-called authority figures because they did not like the magic that you possessed and your ability to do things, your ability to change things, to heal people. Let's see what else you need to know about what happened in your most recent past life. Okay, male or female. Okay, there might have been some form of division between yourself and someone in your past life. I feel like you had people that turned against you. That's really what I'm picking up here. People who were close to you turned against you. Why did they turn against you? I feel like when you were being persecuted, you had a lot of people that actually, you had Judases. That's what I heard. You had Judases around you that actually helped to assist in your persecution. They turned away from you. Likely because they allowed themselves to give in to the colonizers, whereas you said, no, you are going to stay close to your tradition. You're going to stay close to your culture. You're going to stay close to your lineage, okay? Yeah, it was your spouse that turned from you. I feel like whoever this person was, they betrayed you in your past life. Let me see, why did they betray you? Let me see if I can get anything as to why they betrayed you. So in this lifetime, if you find that you are led to spiritual work and you know you're an old soul, you might have ended up in a relationship. It doesn't have to be someone that you married. It could be anybody. That person turned against you in your past life. And if they traveled here to complete, you know, if y'all still had unfinished business or karmic energy that needed to be played out, that person could have turned against you in this lifetime too. This says Asia. So they might have turned against you because y'all had two completely different belief systems. Y'all probably ended up being separated, like looking in two different directions when it comes to what you believed in. So let me see what else. So I had, look at that. Health, bottom of the deck says medicine man or woman. And then I have another one that fell and it's Native American again, y'all. So we got Native American here 2 times. We have health and then we have medicine man or woman. This is obviously Native American energy right here. You were a medicine man, a medicine woman in a past life. You healed people from illness. That's what you did. You had a strong connection to water. So it's almost like I'm really picking up on some straight magical, mystical type of alchemy that you was capable of doing, to where you could speak to the water and make the water take on the vibration of what you was speaking, or maybe what you was singing, or what you was placing. You could just place herbs into it and have someone drink it and they would be healed just like that. Or you could put, submerge someone into the water and set your intentions over them. Like you had a strong, powerful gift and people came to you for healing. Okay. And the government at that time, they didn't like that. And so they made a ruling to lock you up for life, which ultimately led to your illness. And that's what they wanted to see, because they had to prove to themselves that you wasn't as powerful as you thought you was. So in this lifetime, many of you may feel drawn to natural medicine. You may feel drawn to holistic healing. You know, even if you're not necessarily an herbalist, you may have been drawn to the healthcare field in this lifetime. You may have been drawn to, you know, if something happens and you're not feeling so well, you don't go for the chemicals. You now automatically go for natural remedies. And many of you know how to come up with remedies, and you might not even know how you know these things. But it's because you have a natural gift as a healer. Okay, consider the power that you possess using water in the past life. You can also utilize it in this lifetime. So fire and water are two very powerful elements for you to do your alchemy. Now, the powers that were understood that you had this great gift of healing people, that people would come to you and that it would completely knock out their system of healthcare, because this is their symbol. Or if it was our symbol at some point, most things belonged to us before they took it anyway. But right now, they're using this symbol in healthcare, okay, the rod and the snake. And so they wanted their system to be the standard. But you were still connected to your roots, okay? You were still connected to your roots. And I just heard they said you was doing root work. They called you a witch. They called you a warlock. They said everything about you except that you were a true healer, okay? They didn't want to acknowledge and embrace that. And so this is where they put you away. Now, this is what they know about you in this lifetime. They know that you have a strong ability to tap in and to heal, not only yourself, but to heal others. Now, let's see, what was their biggest fear concerning your gifts? What is their biggest fear when it comes to these natural gifts? Because I do feel like as a result of that, this card that's saying all blockages to my Akashic records and the activation of my DNA is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. This is where you're going to do the burn and release for that, because they've been trying to block your DNA. They've been trying to block the activation of your DNA. So they could have started that as a young child. You know, a lot of parents back then, especially my generation, older, you know, even now, a lot of parents still fall for that line of giving children vaccinations and things like that. And so you best believe they can easily have specific vaccines for specific types of people. Okay, please don't get it twisted. These people are not righteous. And so they have been trying to block your DNA, but it hasn't worked though, because many of you, I'm sure you can attest to it. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you remember. Say I remember in the comment section below, and you'll know if you remember based on your habits right here in this lifetime. Say I remember if you are into natural healing, if you are drawn to herbal medicine, if you are a rebel, if you are connected, you feel drawn to Native American traditions, if you know that you are a medicine man or a medicine woman, even if you got a doggone dream catcher, I got 5 of them hanging above my bed right now. If you got dream catchers in your house, say I remember. If you got an issue with authority figures and you've always been the rebel, say I remember. If you have a strong ability and you know that it's something very unique and different about you, and you know that that you are able to heal people, but you may not have tapped into it yet, say I remember. Because I know y'all remember this. It's coming back to your recollection here in the age of Aquarius, because this is the age of I know. So there's no such thing as you being in the dark about who you are, what you came here to do, remembering that you have a natural gift of clairvoyance. Is that what that said? Clairvoyance, which is your ability to know things from the past, present, and the future. So you remember your past life. You remember who you were. You remember what you came back here to do. Say, I remember. So let's see. What is their biggest fear when it comes to you remembering and carrying out your assignment where you left off in your past life? Their biggest fear is the Ace of Pentacles and the Hangman in the reverse. They cannot sacrifice you with the Hangman in reverse. The Ace of Pentacles is that you're going to take that gift from the Most High and it's going to grow. It's going to be something great. It's going to be something big. It can bring you a lot of wealth and prosperity. Their biggest fear is that you're going to get back everything that you lost, everything that they took from you. You're going to get it back. Their biggest fear is that you possess the medicine right there in your hands. Medicine man, medicine woman, Their biggest fear is that you're going to come into remembrance of that, and that you're going to start connecting, because you see this pentacle has roots coming from it. You're going to start connecting to Mother Earth again. You're going to start remembering the medicine and the salves of nature. You're going to start to remember this again, and you're going to start to offer it to people. Their biggest fear is that you're no longer going to remain stuck, but that you're going to get up. Look at this. You're going to get up. Look at them trying to sneak in. Okay? They're trying to sneak in. Their biggest fear is that you are going to be revived. You're going to raise up from the dead. You're going to come out of sleep. Okay? And that natural energy that's within you, that's been within you your entire, every lifetime, that spirit, that soul, it never dies. Okay, that you're going to come back into union with it again. And see, they have tried to come in and they've tried to catch you before this happens, but they can't, because you see them. Everything is illuminated. The moon is always shining down to illuminate what's hidden and what's in the dark. And you have a divine connection to the moon naturally. Okay, naturally, because of who you are, especially being connected to Native American bloodlines and lineage. Okay, and so this is their biggest fear. Let me take one more to see what's their biggest fear. And then we're going to look and see how did they try to stop you. Look at this. Their biggest fear. 10 of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Their biggest fear is that now they're going to have to carry the weight. Everything is going to stop for them. Knight of Pentacles is like everything comes to a halt. So their so-called medicine and, their system and the way that they do things, people are no longer going to come to them. They're afraid that people are going to start coming to you and that this is going to be them. They got to pack their bags and they got to go because nobody wants what they have to offer anymore. Yeah, take that somewhere else. All right, take that somewhere else. It's time to leave. Look at that. 5 of Cups. Their biggest fear is that they're going to be left mourning because people are going to want to come in. They're going to want to give to you. They know that what you have is actually real. What you have, people want, people need. Okay, and so people will pay you for your gifts. And it's going to be very healing. But it's going to leave them in a grieving state. All right. That's their biggest fear. Now, in terms of what they tried to do to stop you in this lifetime, let's see. What they tried to do in order to stop you in this lifetime. I don't want to make this message too long. If y'all want a part 2, we can definitely do a part 2. But I want to make sure that it gets uploaded today. What did they try to do to stop you from fulfilling your purpose in this lifetime? I'm going to take 7 cards here. What did they try to do? 4 of Cups, 3 of Cups. Yeah, they wanted you to feel left out. 4 plus 3 equals 7 of Cups. They wanted you confused as hell, like not knowing who you were, what your purpose was. They wanted you more so focused on feeling like the loner, feeling like the outsider, feeling like you was just so different to where, it was just hard to fit in. They wanted you to focus on trying to get in, to fit in, and to remain confused about your purpose and to be in an illusion, to be confused about what you wanted to do. Like all of these smoke screens in front of you, they wanted you to sit on your gifts and to be completely discontent and bored, feeling like there was no options, focused on the past, focused on the spilled cups, focused on the lost friendships, the lost family dynamics, the lost partnerships. They wanted you to stay focused on that energy, looking in that direction, but not taking advantage of this. This is the Ace of Cups. It's being handed to you. But if you never paid attention to it because you're so focused on wanting to blend in, they figured if they could keep you in this energy, then you would never see the gift that the Most High has granted to you. So the way that they tried to stop you is they wanted to make you feel like the outsider. They tried to make you feel like you did not fit in since a young age, okay? Now, how can they do this? You might say, well, they can do spell work. They've been doing spell work and magic and rituals. And so they looked at your natal chart. They probably checked you out to see what would be that one thing that would be the biggest distraction for you in this lifetime. And they might have come to a conclusion that you would always feel left out. You would always feel different. And so they would amplify that energy and do spell work over the people that were surrounding you so that they would ostracize you or to isolate you or to, be very distant from you and make you feel like you just never fit in. And that would become your biggest distraction. That would become your biggest focus. Okay. So maybe at some point in your life, this is where you were. Now, I know a lot of you now, and you like, shoot, I don't give a damn about fitting in with nobody, but that's because you've evolved and their spell work is no longer working on you. But in the past, it did work. It was effective, and it kept you distracted away from your gifts. That's one of the ways that they tried to stop you. Let's see. How did they try to prevent you from coming into carrying out where you left off in your past life in this lifetime? What did they try to do to stop you? So we have 2 cups cards starting off. 3 of cups, 4 of cups. That deals with your emotions. So if they can keep your emotions off balance, then here's the Chariot. If they could keep your emotions off balance, then they could also disrupt your intuitive gifts, because your intuitive gifts are connected to your emotions. Water, they understood that you had a strong connection to water in your past life. And so they looked at your natal chart to see, okay, what house, where's the water sign energy at? And they played around in them houses, y'all. They played around in them houses, I'm telling you. And so you have here the Chariot. Now, let me clarify and see what the Chariot means in terms of how they tried to distract you or how they tried to stop you. What is the Chariot? Queen of Swords. Yeah, it feels like somebody in your life, there was somebody around you that was trying to dictate your movement. Like somebody would give unsolicited advice. It was somebody that you felt had a lot of dominance over your energy at some point in life. And maybe for a long time, you tried to chase this person's love. Maybe for a long time, you might have done things in order to try to gain this person's approval, but you never could quite gain their approval because this person would be very cold towards you. Their heart would be locked away, and so you would never be able to gain their love or their approval. And so they would surround you by someone where you would always feel like you had to chase their love and chase their approval, but you would never quite reach it. Let me see. Yeah, look at this. The way that they tried to stop you was through betrayal, painful situations where you always felt like you was being betrayed, backstabbed, constantly being hurt, constantly being abused and misused. This would keep you on this, painful cycle where you have to pick yourself back up again over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 2 more cards. I also have here the Empress in a reverse. That's another way that they stopped you from being the healer, which makes a lot of sense because the Empress in a reverse, I'm picking up your mother specifically. They targeted your mother. So whether you lost your mother at an early age, whether you watched your mother be ill at an early age, whether you had a mother who was not nurturing to you, where you felt like you just was not accepted, okay? Or whether you just didn't have a mother in your life at all. They targeted the feminine energy because they recognized that the mother is the healer. The mother is the nurturer. The mother has strong intuitive gifts because many of you, this comes from your mother's side of the family. This gift comes from your mother's side of the family. And so that disconnect from that mother figure, I feel like, yeah, you had somebody that was very cold in your life, whether it was I don't know, y'all know your situation. I don't want to go through every scenario of how your mother could have played a factor in this, but they made sure that you never felt nurtured. That's how they targeted you in this lifetime. So if you don't feel nurtured, then that natural ability to nurture others and to heal others does not kick in, because you spend the rest of your life trying to nurture and coddle your inner child. But really, you'll be in protective mode over your inner child because you don't really know how to nurture it until you awaken and you start to recognize all of the vices and the things that held you back. And then you start to learn to nurture your inner child. But generally, you start off in a very strong masculine energy where you're protective of your heart. You're protective of your energy. And so I feel like they wanted to keep you on defense mode, where you would never step back and tap into that nurturing energy into this lifetime, because that nurturing energy would allow you to tap into that natural DNA that was inherited from your mother's side of the family, and you would come into remembrance of being a healer, a medicine man, a medicine woman, okay? So that's how they tried to stop you, and I'm going to take one more. Damn, the Devil. Now, this Devil is in the reverse, so they couldn't catch you, though. They tried, though. They tried it. The Devil, the way that they tried to stop you is that they tried to manipulate your mind. They tried to keep you caught up and bound in particular addictive patterns, lustful patterns, your carnal nature, or just connected to really toxic relationships or friendships where you had a hard time unbinding yourself from that. They really tried to play you like you was a puppet and they was the puppet master. But with this coming out in the reverse, they couldn't do it. They could not do it. So that's how they tried to stop you. Now, last but not least, I'm going to look and see what you must finish out. What do you need to do in this lifetime now? I strongly feel like we've already gotten that answer, but we'll still tap in and see. What is it that you must finish? What is it that you must complete in this lifetime? You must complete it in this lifetime. Let's see. I feel like where you left off is where you're coming back in. So as a healer, medicine man, medicine woman, teacher, shaman, you must complete that in this lifetime. They can't stop you in this lifetime. Damn. Well, I mean, this says hitman. Now, we're not going to take that literally, obviously. So don't y'all go out there saying Shavi told you to get out here and do what you got to do. No. I feel like this is you destroying your enemy. You must complete the assignment of, because what the assignment of a hitman is to take out someone, right? Now, if we're looking at it on a spiritual level, because that's the only way we're looking at it, is you now have to break the bondage of your oppressor. You now have to destroy the agenda of your oppressor. I'm picking up strong spiritual warrior energy here, okay? So you've been given the assignment to target a specific system that tried to take you down and hold you down through your spiritual work, because you are a very strong alchemist, which this is proved from your past life energy, okay? And you are here as a spiritual warrior to take out the opposition so that we can get back to our roots again. Let's see, what else have you been called to complete in this lifetime? So look at this. I have two cards that says mother of many. Isn't that powerful though? The other one says king, but this says mother of many. Didn't we just see that the way that they tried to block you in this lifetime was through your mother specifically? But I was telling you that when you tap back in and you heal those mother wounds, you get back to being that natural nurturer, that healer. You are the mother of many. Many of you are divine feminine out there that have a calling of healing a lot of people, okay? The king, divine masculines out there getting back on your throne, stepping into that divine power, getting back into your authority. It's two of them in a tree, y'all. I have never seen. It's a huge, I mean, when I tell you it's a huge bird, it's a huge bird. Now, when I looked at the head closely, I'm not, unless it's a different type of owl. But I have never, I've never seen this type of bird, first of all. It's humongous. But I could see another one moving around in the tree. So, yes, you are the mother of many. You are a king. Let me take one more card before this reading is way too loud. You love nature. You got to get back connected to nature in this lifetime. You have to carry out your assignment as a medicine man or medicine woman. That's just clear, point blank. That's just what it is. You're a shaman. You're a healer. You're a medicine man, medicine woman. You are the mother of many. You are kings out there. You have a divine assignment. As the king, I feel like y'all got a strong assignment too as the warriors to, you know, be that hitman, take them out spiritually, okay? Spiritually. Let me emphasize spiritually one more time for the people in the back that might misinterpret this message. But this is very powerful, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed this message and time traveling with me to the past life to see what the powers that were have been up to and why they have been your ops and surrounding you so much in this lifetime. They recognize who you are. So I hope that you all have come into remembrance of who you are, and this helped you to tap in and gain some clarity. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Don't forget to say I remember if you was able to recall and gain some recollection in this reading today. I love you, and I'll talk to y'all next time.